Well, after the shocking news and blockbuster news that Stadia was dissolving its first-party studios, there's a lot of buzz, a lot of finger-pointing, a lot of laughing, and a lot of ridiculing, and a lot of heartfelt emotion in regards to the people that may be displaced. So with all that said, the question looms and remains, is Stadia dead yet? Well, we try our best to give you the answer. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the SDO Daily. We are not going anywhere. We will be here. We'll get into all that. But do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Rock those bells for notifications, please. So you know when your boys dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the reason. And y'all know the slogan. I am not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right. So, a lot of people may be asking, MM2K, despite all this information that you gave in the bumper, Stadia's first-party studios being dissolved, why do you seem not fazed? I did a couple of podcasts. I did a power panel with a lot of great Stadia content creators, and then I followed that up, kicking it with the homeboys once again, Broadband Bullies, you know what I'm saying, went on Next Gen 720's platform, and we were talking about Stadia. They tried to beat your boys' legs in, but the fact of the matter is that like the rest of the gaming community, they know so little about Stadia, what it's actually doing, what it was nowhere near, all that stuff, to where, you know, it was like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, right? So I'm gonna get into why I don't seem fazed by this, which I'm not saying it's not a problem. It's definitely a problem, and it's something that Google has to fix. What is it that they need to fix? I'm gonna get into all that soon. What does this mean for the platform? Stadia Dosage news and all the Stadia Dosage content. I'm gonna get into that. How should the community and other content creators, MM2K, in your opinion, how should they move forward? I'm gonna get into all that. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about what actually happened first. Stadia Games and Development is no more. That was the publishing wing and the first party wing of Stadia, as they were looking to develop games in-house and publish games with partners on the platform. It's no more. What's also no more is the research and development team led by hoffman-john. They were responsible for doing the AI and the machine learning and Project Chimera and all this stuff that really was supposed to help cloud gaming and the sole cloud gaming solution and the power of the cloud come to fruition with mind-blowing experiences that were going to revolutionize gaming. That's off the table right now. The aforementioned Stadia Games and Development team were led by Jade Raymond, and with some sub-teams led by other individuals, including Shannon Studstill of the famous Santa Monica studio. So all of that has been dissolved. Now we know Jade Raymond left the company, I guess, upon being notified of this, and is looking for opportunities elsewhere. hoffman-john, on the other hand, now she's been vocal on Twitter to a certain extent, but we don't know if she's one of the people that they found new opportunities for within Stadia, if she has a redesigned role, whatever the case may be. We don't know. We hope that they can retain talent like hoffman-john. That is a very bright individual. And if Google, period, along with Stadia, can utilize her to help grow the company and the platform, that would be fantastic. Now, in light of all this, Google will continue to offer a retail service, and then they are adding a wholesale business to license off this technology. Okay. Now, next, what does this platform, Stadia Dosage, what do we feel this means? Okay. We feel that this means that Stadia made this move because they felt maintaining the first party studio, in hindsight, became too expensive for the company. Now, rightfully so, you have publications like GameIndustry.biz that have articles out here that are ridiculing Stadia for this action, and I can't be mad at them. I agree with the sense of the GameIndustry.biz article where they bit off more than they could chew, and they should have knew better. I don't agree with Game Industry. Now, GameIndustry.biz is going way left, top out. They should only be a partner thingy. That's that old dinosaur thought process that keeps gaming and technology stagnant, and that thought process needs to go the way of the dinosaur. Cloud gaming has the potential of becoming a premier platform, one that can rival game consoles and hardware. Just not yet. It's still niche, and it just still has to be developed. But if you're developing things, you gotta have long-term solutions that aren't too lofty. And it sounds like that Stadia saying, hey, look, we're going to put together this studio that in 5 years is going to create something big without you creating a serious revenue stream yet. To subsidize said effort was not the smart thing to do at all. I don't know, maybe they thought that the platform would be more popular than what it was at launch and that would help subsidize it. I don't know why, but you know, cloud gaming is just niche. It's not socially accepted within gamers yet. So to maintain an effort, to subsidize an effort where you got 150 employees, you got to pay health insurance and unemployment insurance and salaries and bonuses and overtime, all that stuff. You know, it's not something that you do out the gate. That's why normally even Xbox and PlayStation and all of them, they wait a while before they start going real heavy with the development studios. Okay. And Stadia should have waited as well. They should have just not come up with a first party studio as of yet. They should have, unless they had something at launch, which I understand why they couldn't have stuff at launch, which the GameIndustry.biz article doesn't understand, but that's there nor there. I understand why they couldn't have it at launch because of the progression of the tech. But then you wait. It has to be subsidized. And you do second party deals. You just pay for second party deals, great second party deals that are going to appeal to the masses. And hopefully they've learned that lesson. But it seems like that maintaining that first party studio without it being properly subsidized just wasn't going to fly. Now it's particularly troubling to see the research and development team by Aaron Hoffman-John. Well, let me back up. It's troubling to see this happen to anybody. And I hope that everybody that was that this has affected, they find work within Stadia or Google, or they immediately find work somewhere. This is scary. It's something that I've had to deal with earlier on. So I know how the young people, it's scary. You know, and when I dealt with it, thank goodness that it was only like a 2-week period that I had to wait in order to transition to something else. And hopefully it's even more comfortable for this great talented team that's been assembled. Just couldn't be maintained. But it is troubling to see that the research and development teams have been shelved. As far as the retail notion, it sounds like that they're doubling down on getting more games over to the platform. And that's great. That's what we need. And a lot of people may not understand why we are comfortable and believing that that's the approach for it. Well, here's why we believe that. Let me show you something. No, excuse me. Let me show you something. All right, so this is the blog post from Vice President of Stadia, Phil Harrison, and he says in this letter talking about how they dissolved the first party and the R&D teams. So we launched Stadia with the goal of making your favorite games instantly available wherever you want to play them. With the recent successful launch, I repeat, the recent successful launch of Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia, gameplay on all types of devices, including iOS, growing our slate of YouTube integrations and our global expansions, it's clear that Stadia's technology has been proven and works at scale. Having games streamed at any screen is the future of this industry, and will continue to invest in Stadia and its underlying platform to provide the best cloud gaming experience for our partners in the gaming community. This has been the vision of Stadia since the beginning. I find it very interesting that they start off focused on the release of Cyberpunk 2077 on the platform. So again, to further extenuate why we think what we think, it seems like that the more loftier goal, we're going to build this ultimate AI and ultimate machine learning process and Project Chimera, where 10 people can make a game at the scale of World of Warcraft in a matter of months, and all this lofty ideas that they were having. They had nothing to subsidize that. But in the immediate now, here, they get big AAA games day and date on the platform that rival performance on consoles, and it sells through the roof. I mean, Stadia platforms were sold out, and the only brick and mortars where they were available. They were flying off the shelves. And it's hard as a Fortune 500 business that's trying to survive during COVID, especially when you're having a very rocky year that Google is having. I mean, all of its competitors are having great years. Not so much Google. It's a rocky year for them. So you got all that happening, and you're sitting on this gold mine, which is AAA games, but your money's tied up in trying to build this more loftier long-term solution. It makes sense to us here, and we feel that, okay, we can dig what they're saying here. We may not like how they presented it, but we can dig out what they're saying. So it makes perfect sense on why they would want to shift those resources for the immediate now. You're sitting on a gold mine, you're bleeding money through these studios, but people want to play their favorite games on the go now. And telling people, like you have in the past, it's going to be years before you get to that apex, because we're trying to build something. It just wasn't fathomable for the company. Another thing that needs to be taken into consideration is this. While they were letting people go, unfortunately, and hopefully again everybody finds jobs, that this happened as well. They are hiring a project manager to work on Stadia/YouTube related integration. So what does that say to me in culmination of what we just spoke about? That again, instead of just saying, hey, look, the first few years, you know the Jack Buser line that I always repeat, the first few years, you're going to have to, it's not going to be so great, but you come back years later and it's going to be fantastic. No! You got a gold mine now, investors are probably saying. Utilize that gold mine now. So what they're going to do is they're going to double down on getting these games over faster, as far as we're concerned. I can't speak in absolutes. This is what it looks like. And it looks like that they're going to utilize the power of YouTube that has over 2 billion viewers. So can you imagine? I'm watching my favorite golfer go. Something pops up on the screen. Want to play, 18 holes like your favorite golfer? Get PJ 2K21 on Google Stadia. Here, click this link right here. Click this button. Click to play. That's powerful. And that's more saturation possibilities that they have because of YouTube than Xbox could ever offer. So again, if I'm an investor and I'm like, well, hold on, what are you doing? You see, we're looking at what Cyberpunk 2077 is doing, and we get that you have these long-term goals, but we're in COVID. You ain't doing so great. The Stadia platform isn't bringing in enough money to subsidize this long-term effort. What are you doing? We can understand why this decision was made. May not like it. I don't like it, but we can understand why it was made. Well, I'll say I wish it would have been done better. It would have been better if these people weren't put together, their hopes were brought up only for them to be dissolved in a little bit over a year. That is a hurt piece. I would have rather have Stadia to double down on its second party partnerships at first. Get them rolling and use that money to subsidize building first party studios. But the second thing that they're going to do is they're going to build on their wholesale experience. They're going to license this tech out. And people are saying, oh, they're licensing the tech out. This is unbelievable. They're going away. They're going to dismantle everything in a garage sale. This is nothing more than Amazon licensing out AWS for business partners. This is nothing more like Microsoft licensing out Azure to PlayStation, a known rival. Other bigwigs are doing it. Why can't Google do it and bring in more money to subsidize this experience for us? Again, it's business. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. Now, how will this platform continue despite all of this? I mean, again, I got to be honest. I am giving you what I feel is the most likely outcome from all this based upon the stuff that I know. I'm not in a boardroom, so I don't know everything. And I can't speak in absolutes. I cannot guarantee you this is what's going on. Google has to guarantee that for you, all right? But despite that, we feel like we're in a good space continuing to report on this product, tell you what's good about it. So if you're interested still, you want to give it a shot, you go do that. So here's what we're going to do. Despite the poor segue that Stadia did in releasing this information, and it was horrible. It was bad, and we're going to get into that. We still believe in the retail proposition of the platform. So we will continue to be, as they say in my industry, business as usual when talking about Stadia. Now, this news as presented in regards to what's going on with these first-party studios, it does add for hesitation. So be mindful that our confidence overall in Stadia may change or shift based upon the confidence that Google can reassure us about the product being solidified for the future. It's based upon Google's messaging. I can't carry, and I've said this on multiple occasions, I can't carry the weight of a multi-billion, trillion-dollar company on my shoulders, regardless of grassroots marketing or not. That's up to Google. Now, other content creators, I caution you this, because I feel remiss to do so, because I'm seeing some things already, and I get the emotions, I get the anger, I get the angst, I get the disappointment. That said, as I always try to warn people, speaking in absolutes forever cements you to that position. Prime example. If I were to sit here, rather instead of saying, I'm not sure about this, this is what I think, and if I were to talk in absolutes and say, Stadia will surely remain intact after this, nothing to worry about, but they close shop, that's the stain that I cannot wash off, that sticks with me forever. On the flip side of that, if I say Stadia for sure is closing down, this is it, it's a wrap. But meanwhile, the reallocation of resources helps bolster the platform like we could never imagine, faster than we ever thought. That again sticks on me. And be mindful of this, as your absolutes can turn the egg on the face. Now, this is a great community, the best in gaming, I feel. But they are not kind to absolutist rhetoric. And especially after this emotional roller coaster, there will be no coming back from absolutist rhetoric. So if you guarantee survival and you're off, ready for backlash. And on the flip side of that, if you guarantee this is it and there's a turnaround, expect to be ignored and exiled from people's minds within the community forever. The wise person told me, decisions have consequences. And that's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Did we do a decent job in making you understand why we're going to continue the way we're going to continue, making you feel better, or making you feel, did we help give you some solace in what's going on here? Let us know in the comment section below. And like I said, if you like what you hear, check out the links below to follow me. They'll lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. With all that said, enjoy gaming, because we are. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.